Welcome everyone. So welcome to our event. This event is brought to you by DataTalks.Club, which is a community of people who love data. We have weekly events, and this event is one of such events. If you want to find out more about the events we have, there is a link in the description. You can go to that link and check what we have in our schedule. And also, if you really love our events, you can attend all of them. For that, you can just subscribe to our public Google Calendar, and then you get notified about all the events. And then, of course, it's very important, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, now it's the best time to do this. Just go under the video, click subscribe, and you'll have our videos in your feed. And join our amazing data community in Slack, where you can talk about many different things: data science, data engineering, career questions, and so on. And then finally, during today's conversation, you can ask any question you want. There is a link in the live chat. It's pinned. Click on this link and ask your question, and I will be covering these questions during the interview today. So I think that's it. I didn't forget anything. I don't have any more slides. I was sharing my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yes. Everything is okay.
Okay, so I have my notes. Are you ready to start?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, this week we'll talk about two different roles. We will talk about the role of data science manager, and we will talk about the role of a data science expert. And we will talk how they are not the same and why they are different. And probably there are some similarities as well. We will cover that in this week. And we have a special guest today, Barbara. Barbara is a data scientist by profession. You're a data science manager, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Then GIS, it's geographical information systems, right?
Yes,
so you're into geographical information systems. This is something you studied. You'll probably tell us a bit more about that. And yeah, so welcome, Barbara.
Welcome.
Yeah, before we go into our main topic, let's start with your background. Can you tell us about your career journey so far?
Yes, of course. So I graduated from GIS study, so Geographic Information Systems, at the University in Poznan. So I am a specialist in spatial analysis. And at the time, I learned how to work with very specific data, which are spatial data. They are different. After graduation, I worked in telecommunication company in GIS specialist position. Although I love this job, after a few years, I decided to come back to Poznan and find a new job and change something. So I became a SQL developer, and I learned very well how to work with databases and reports. So, and quite quickly, it turned out that my strong points are analytic skills and contact with clients. So I continued my career as a business intelligence analyst, being responsible for the analytic parts of the data warehouse construction and reporting projects. And I also prepared some visualizations and data analysis. And at the same time, I also became one of the leaders in our BI department. So I also developed my leadership skills. But always I felt that we could do something more with data, some advanced analytics. And my goal was to gain more insight from data. And one day we decided to build our own data science team. So after some time, I became a data science manager, and I got the opportunity to build my own team and take responsibility for the whole area. And now with my team, we are building machine learning solutions. So this is a very short story of my career journey.
Oh, what kind of solutions you're building?
Now we have two main topics. One is model which should predict for people who are sick for bipolar disease or depression, your face will change or not, because it's important for doctors. And the other solution is more commercial. This is demand forecasting and recommendation, so inventory optimization.
That's quite interesting. Yeah, thanks for sharing. So I've been following you on LinkedIn for quite a while, and I think you post regularly, like maybe every week, every 2 weeks. I see posts from you. Then some time ago, I think maybe it was 6 months ago. Like it wasn't super recent. I think it goes like a few months ago. Yeah. So you shared the link, and you shared a post, and the post started with, "Do you need a data science manager or a data science expert?" Can you tell us more about this post?
I remember this post very well. And this post was about differences between data science manager and data science expert. And these two positions are often confused even in data science world. And often people forgot many aspects of manager tasks. So I often got job offers from various headhunters on LinkedIn, and job titles were data science manager or data science team leader. But when I analyzed requirements, I could see that 80% of them were very technical. For example, Python programming, machine learning solutions deployment, Kubernetes, Docker, advanced libraries such TensorFlow, PyTorch, etc. And only 20% of the requirements had anything to do with soft skills typical for managers, such as team management, stakeholders expectation, management communication, building relations, and strategy for the company. So very often people confuse a data science manager with data science expert. And I know data science is a young field and people don't know what requirements for this position should be and don't know what kind of person they need in their companies. So I want to spread awareness and save time in the process of building a data science team in organization.
Who do you think creates such job listings? Is it is it coming from management who might not necessarily yet know what they actually need from a manager, or like who usually creates this post? Do you have any ideas?
I think that usually is created by some guys from IT, yeah, because it's head of IT, head of BI, or somebody like this, and he or she doesn't know exactly how data science works, what is more important in which position, on which position, or sometimes HR did some job offers, yeah, and they don't have enough knowledge about these positions, yeah, because data science, okay, technical requirements, team management, okay, team management, 1 point or maybe 2 points.
What do you think should actually be the balance? Like, if somebody is looking for a manager, should it be like that? Should it be 80% technical and 20 non-technical, or should it be different?
Should be different, definitely different. I think maybe half and half or something like that. But I think the most important are this manager track or manager skills.
So the next question I have in my list of questions that I prepared was, what motivated you to write it? I guess you answered that. So you, like many headhunters, were reaching out to you saying, "Hey, we have this amazing job as a data science manager." You open this job and then you see, okay, it doesn't sound like a manager.
Yeah,
job, right?
it happens.
Do you see such job descriptions very often these days?
Very, very, very often. And I see this on LinkedIn and I see in our different job websites. It happens very, very often.
But do you think the reason it happens is because these people want to find a manager, just don't know what requirements to put, or these people actually want to hire an expert, they don't need a manager?
I think it happens because people need or want to have a data science team and they don't know how it works. And they think that, okay, we need a manager, we need team leader. Okay, this is a data scientist with extremely strong knowledge of technical issues. And okay, plus team management. But this is not a good way. Yeah, this is something like head of IT. Head of IT is something like different, like a senior of web development, expert in web development or other programming stuff.
Yeah. So as I remember from your background story that you were saying that you like when you became a data science manager, how much experience in data science did you have back then?
Before management?
When you became a manager, like before this,
it's
did you have
difficult to say
like a
because
loss?
it depends how you define the data science.
Like all these things, like machine learning, like all these technical things that you mentioned. Do you think it's important for a manager to know these things?
Okay, so before I was manager, I worked around 5 or 6 years general. So because that's why I asked, what is the data science for you? Because I worked 3 years like a GIS specialist, and this is very specific part of analytic. But if you say that data science is general, not only machine learning, but general analyst, yeah, this GIS also, I worked with databases and analyze some data, prepare visualization, etc. So I think before I became a leader, I worked something like 5 or 6 years general with data. Yeah.
Yeah, but where I was going with this is I wanted to ask you, like, is it really important to get to know all these technical things? So you mentioned Python, Docker, Kubernetes, like machine learning, all these technical things. Like, is it really important for a manager to know all that to be able to be a good manager?
This is important to understand how it works, but in the high level. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't say that, but I don't use Docker, but I know how it works. And this is the most important thing that I could talk with my team. We could discuss because I understand how it works, but I don't use this. Yeah, and I think this is the most important thing. If you have technical background and you can understand how different parts of technology works, this is most important because it is impossible to know everything. Yeah, we need wide knowledge, but quite shallow. This is the difference. Yeah, experts need very deep understanding, very deep knowledge. Managers need wide knowledge, but a little bit shallower than experts.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so experts deep knowledge, managers shallow. So they just need to know a bit of everything and then know who to ask for, and then they need just to go to an expert and to get
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So let's talk a bit about data science managers. So who is a data science manager? What are their responsibilities and which skill do they need to have?
Okay, so data science managers help organizations use data to make the best management decision. Of course, he or she has to know what skill set and personality is needed in team members. Because team means people and people are not robots. So we need people to feel good together and work well together. So managers need to know who they need and who will fit into organization and their team. They also show directions of personal development for each team member. And data science managers show the directions of data science team development and prepare strategies for using AI and machine learning technologies in organization. That's why we follow trends in AI and need a wide knowledge of techniques in data engineering, data analysis, data visualization, model buildings and deployment, ML ops, etc. Yeah, and managers have a holistic approach to data science projects. They don't only use technologies and models, but they also communicate with stakeholders and business users. They understand very well all requirements of the machine learning model and how it will be used by business users. So with this holistic approach, they should identify new opportunities to leverage data science in various business areas. So, of course, like every manager, they should be able to manage problem, for example, with team members, business expectation, weak results from models, etc. And for that, it's useful to have strong critical thinking and problem-solving capabilities. So this role combines soft and technical skills.
Mm-hmm. So how much hands-on it is? Like, do managers actually sit and code, open Jupyter Notebook, and tune XGBoost, or not? Not so much. Sometimes.
As always, it depends on the structure and maturity of the organization and the IT team. It's also connected with level of technical skills and the background of the person has. So if he or she has trained models before or not, and if not, it depends on his or her determination to learn to do it right. And some managers don't have time to write code and train models. Others do it, but spend maximally 50–60% on their time on it. But building models is not the core of our duties. And it's kind of ironic that our tools are PowerPoint and Excel, and we do a lot of presentations. But in my opinion, a data science manager should understand technical issues very well, analyze results from models, and give some tips on the direction in which team could go. It's important to pose the right question to the team and business stakeholders, because it's common for a data scientist to enter a rabbit hole and spend months on model without any progress. And a good manager can notice this and pull that man at the right moment out of the hole and say, this is good enough, or show another direction. And this is much easier if the manager has a good technical background.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you mentioned that like if this manager has previously trained machine learning models, do you think it's actually a requirement that they have this experience of training a model, or they could be good managers without this experience?
It is possible to be a good manager without this experience. It's harder, I think, but it's also possible. It also depends on the organization. I know some organization which is quite big, and I know that there are head of IT or head of data science. This guy is very non-technical. Of course, he did some courses, he knows some knowledge, but he didn't has hands-on experience. It happens, but it is possible, and it depends, like always.
Mm-hmm. So probably like in your, when you were saying what kind of things managers do, so thinking of team development, thinking of each member's team member personal development, then preparing strategies, then having this holistic approach, communicating with stakeholders, identifying opportunities, managing expectations, critical thinking. Like none of these seem to require writing actual code, right? So probably like you can be somebody, like people can be good managers without necessarily having deep technical background in the past, right?
Yeah, right. But I think it's harder to develop team and say which direction you should go or ask for something when you don't have this background. Yeah, because when you discuss with your team that you have some problems with models, for example, and you don't understand how it works, it's harder, it's tougher.
Yeah, I already see a question related to the responsibilities of data managers. Do you think data managers should be involved with business development and sales of projects or not?
I think yes, because manager is responsible for the strategy and how the organization will prepare different machine learning solutions, and for who and in which business areas. I think, yes, I think that's why managers have more time to do it something different than coding, and experts doesn't have enough time. Expert doesn't have time, enough time.
Yeah, because if you have all these responsibilities, even if you want to code, you just simply don't have time because there is.
Yeah, I know this very, very well. And I have or had this problem many, many times.
And another related question to what we discussed is how do you make sure that your team is learning new data skills and they try new tools and they see new applications every day? How do you as a manager, how can you do this as a manager?
Okay, so my team is not so big. Maybe that's why it's easier, because if you have a big team, 20, 30 people or something like that, it's harder. My team is quite small, so I see with them every week. We discuss, and I know what they are doing on the project. Sometimes I see the code, because we have a repository, and sometimes I see, and sometimes we discuss what is good, what's not. Sometimes I ask for help some software engineer, because he has a better programming skills, and he could advise. And after that, I know how good they prepare code, and I see the results of the model, of course, yeah, because this is the second side. And I think that it's important to say for each member in which direction he or she should go, and say which goal in this year or in next month, it depends, he or she should do. Yeah, for example, if we have some courses on the website, he or she should do, I don't know, 2 courses, 3 courses, something like that. And I see he or she did it or not. And I see after that on the project how it works. Yeah, because one thing is the course, the other thing is commercial project and normal life. Yeah, and I see and I discuss with other team members how it's good or not. Yeah.
So as I understood, if I can summarize, correct me if I'm wrong, so you're with each team member, you individually work on setting goals and then choosing the right directions for personal development.
Yeah.
And then after that, you pick a couple of courses that should help with this particular goal. And then the person basically takes a course and they try to apply what they learned in their job, right?
Yeah, course, or sometimes if I think that it's better that somebody learn from other team members, yeah, that I know that, okay,
Are you pairing them, right?
Yeah, they work in pair, and I know that the senior help regular or professional, and after that I discuss with both how it is the progress.
Yeah, the other question is like, do you double check the work of your team, the code? I think you mentioned that you take a look at the code, but the reason you do this is because you want to suggest the areas for improvement, right? It's not like you're double checking.
I'm not double check. Yeah,
Yes.
They have code review. They have different things, and yeah, I see sometimes, but I do this. I don't know, 1 per 2 or 3 months or something like that, when I'm very curious. But I don't double check. They are better programmer than me. So
do you think managers should do this, or it's not like how should they be
no.
technically involved in that? Should they review pull requests, or it's if they want they can do this, right?
Yeah, if they want they can do this, but this is not obligatory. I do this sometimes also for my development, because I'm curious how they code, what is in the project, and but this is not something like double check. Yeah, this is something like, oh, okay, oh, we have then another function. Yeah, oh, this code is better. Oh, nice option.
So it's more like for your personal development. You read it
Yeah,
as
something like that. And I know that the project is going very well. And okay, we have this function since I don't know 3 months. Oh, nice.
So instead of spending time reading some articles, you would just go and check the code. Oh, nice! Like grab some coffee and
yeah, something like that.
okay. And yeah, so we talked about the manager, and so we talked about responsibilities, and from the list of responsibilities, doesn't seem like super technical. So there are many non-technical things. And now let's talk about the data science expert role. So what this role is, and also when I hear the word expert, I'm thinking like, are we talking about the role after senior? Like we have this usual progression: junior, then the like professional or middle data scientist, and we have senior, and then there is a role after the senior. So is the expert somebody who is after the senior, or is just could be a senior as well?
I could say that generally, yes. Yeah, expert is after senior. And of course, expert role is different from the manager. And he or she needs a very deep understanding of algorithms and technologies from the area in which he or she has many years of experience. And this person saw and resolved many problems in this particular field. And very often, an expert has not only a good knowledge of technology, but also domain knowledge. Yeah, for example, if somebody prepares sales forecasting, he or she knows not only time series, profit, or like GBM, but also how companies sell and what could influence this process. Yeah, or if somebody works with NLP, he or she knows how languages work. Yeah, or if an expert has been preparing models for logistics for 10 years, he or she has got not only a deep understanding of algorithms, but also domain knowledge. And this person combines these two things very well. That's why I think that expert very often is after senior. Not always, but very often after senior.
Yeah, so they know one particular business domain quite well. They know what kind of algorithms work there, what kind of, I don't know, feature engineering usually works, and then like how to prepare your model, how to train your model, and how to actually apply this model, how to deploy. So they know all this for this particular domain very, very, very well, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why they are experts.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that sounds very different from the manager description, right? So it didn't. So the only kind of non-technical thing was domain knowledge, but I think if we dig deeper, it's quite technical because it's about applying this machine learning, applying these data skills to a particular domain. So it's about using the technical skills for solving business problems. So it's still quite technical, right?
Yeah, the experts are very focused on the technical side of data science. So that's why it's different than manager, yeah, in this different side.
Yeah, and so why might we need an expert? Because it's not enough just to hire somebody who is, I don't know, a senior or a regular data scientist.
Yeah, okay. So some machine learning models are easier and some tougher, yeah, and some are very, very complicated, and you need somebody who can handle them, somebody who has a great experience, yeah, and this person could prepare complicated and good solutions, spending hours optimizing some hyperparameters, etc. And in other case, expert could be a freelancer, and you work with him or her from time to time. Yeah, and this person advises you or your team in which direction to go with this particular problem. And an expert knows the answer to many questions from this domain. Yeah, or very often an expert is senior but with many years of experience, and this person knows the organization, its problems, technology, business processes very well. So he or she already knows what you need, and they could prepare analysis or models very quickly. So that's why sometimes you need an expert.
Mm-hmm. And coming back to our discussion, I think half an hour ago, when we were talking, okay, the company wants to hire a data scientist, and they think, okay, we need to hire a manager, and then they come up with this list of requirements, 80% of which are technical. So, what do you think? Like, if they want to start, let's say, a team, so first of all, do they need to hire a manager or do they need to hire an expert? And what kind of skills they need to have for this particular purpose?
Okay, if you are a big organization, because if you are a startup, it's different. But if you are a big organization, I think you need two persons, manager and expert or a good senior. If you have luck, you could find an expert with very, very good soft skills. Yeah, and I don't know, expert has 20 years of experience, and okay, he or she knows technology, but he or she could also meet with business stakeholders, etc. But generally, I could say that the best way is to find a data science manager, and data science manager will choose senior or professional, also next member of data science team, and this person will be very technical. I think this is the best way for big organizations. But I know that very often small organizations like startups, they do it in this way. They are looking at senior with good communication, yeah, with good soft skills, and this person is responsible for the whole data science stuff in startups.
And how do you think, let's say somebody, so they agree with you that they need to hire a data science manager, right? And then the manager would hire all the, well, like basically build the team. So what should be in the job description for this position, in your opinion?
I think that this person should be prepared for team building, so experience and knowledge from this field. After that, wide knowledge about AI and machine learning solutions, but not in technical way exactly, but in which business areas you could use them. The other thing is also, of course, communication skills, writing skills. Not always we are talking, sometimes we are writing emails, and this is different. Of course, skills of presentation, how to do a good presentation about everything, results for models, but also strategy, business requirements, etc. Experience with management, stakeholders management, expectations management, and of course analytic thinking, because yeah, we should know what kind of analysis we should do on what meaning have results from models. And it's nice to have if this person has technical background or technical skills, but it's more important for me, for managers, that this person will understand how AI or machine learning works, not how to write a code.
And let's say some organizations, like they come up with a job description like you saw quite a few of them, and they manage to hire somebody. So they hire an expert, and so they actually need a manager, but they hire an expert, right? With this job description, which is because the job description matches the expert profile more than the manager. So the expert starts working, and what could be the, like, what can go wrong here? Like, isn't it enough just to, hire somebody who knows it well and then just let them build a team?
Okay, so I see two red alerts. One is, of course, team building, because this is a totally different job or task than technical task. Yeah, you work with people. You should understand how they work. You need empathy. You need communication skill to talk with others and motivate your team, and you should build team. But team means not people who work together, but who cooperate together and they want to work together. Yeah. And this is not easy very often for experts because they are used to work alone or maybe with one or two person, and this is not easy for them very often. The second red alert is finding business areas where you could apply machine learning solutions, because okay, they have good knowledge about algorithms, techniques, etc. But I'm not sure that they will find the best business areas, and they could say the stakeholders that is the best solution, and with this solution, their business will work better. Yeah, because okay, they prepare very good model, very good AI solution, but maybe this solution is not appropriate to this business case, or maybe company needs something different. Yeah, for example, I don't know, they build chatbots. The chatbot is perfect, is great, but organizations needed something more or something different. Not chatbots. Okay, chatbot is okay, nice, it works, cool, but they needed sales forecasting.
Yeah, so basically there should be somebody who can translate the actual business need into machine learning problem, right? And then the expert is not necessarily the right person to do that because they might not be able to do this. Maybe they don't have the they don't have the big picture. They don't know what exactly the company needs, right? And then okay, like I'll just go and do this chatbot and it will just solve the problems, but it doesn't, right?
Yeah, and there's also the one additional problem sometimes that managers care about relations, and we talk with different people from different departments, because general this solution, IT solution, needs not only technology department but also business departments, many departments, and our job is also talk with these people, care about relations and understand very well what is the most important for them, and sometimes it's very tough for experts because they are focused on the technical side, and it's okay. Yeah, that's why we need managers.
Yeah, and so a while back, so you talked if it's a big corporation, they can actually hire two people, so they can hire a data science manager when they start in a team, and then they can hire an expert, so they kind of pair them together and they do their things. But what if it's a startup? And then maybe they don't have the luxury, the money to hire two people.
Yeah, and they don't have this luxury. And very often they don't have even luxury to hire data scientists and data engineer. And that's why startups are looking for data scientists with many skills. And that's why very often data scientists are like a unicorns, really unicorns, because they need data engineering skills, data science skills, soft skills to communicate, to do presentation, etc. And I think the startups should to find somebody who is focused on this domain from startup with good communication and quite good knowledge of technical side. Maybe not expert, yeah, maybe not somebody who knows every details in algorithms or in technology, but the level is quite good enough. The first models will be good enough. This is maybe this is the best solution for startups.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. That startups just need somebody who can wear many hats and are comfortable doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
Not everyone would be interested to do data engineering and building the actual model and then going and selling this to business stakeholders, saying, "Hey, this is my awesome model. Now you have to use them." They say, "Oh, how about no?" Right? So yeah, interesting.
But in startups, you have also smaller groups. You don't have so many departments, so you don't need show your models or show results. I don't know, 100 people. Yeah, in startups you have 20, 30. It depends on the
Just
startup.
CEO or CTO, you show them and they okay, let's implement this.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that probably simplifies things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have quite a few questions, and most of them, I think, are related to the role of a manager. So the first one is prioritization and deadline estimations are usually very hard for a data science project. I think you can relate to that. Is it your job to figure that out, how to prioritize things, how to set deadlines, and what is the process there for doing this?
Okay, so for me, it's sometimes a little bit different because I work in the company which prepare solutions for other companies. So it's different if you work like an internal. But in my job, I am responsible for prioritizing tasks. When we have more projects, on each project, I choose one person who is responsible for that. But always I'm looking from time to time, it's going okay or not with project, yeah? And of course, they could ask me what they should do and what is more important. And we will decide, or maybe we decide to ask client because it's always decision of them. And how to estimate the project, this is difficult stuff. But I have one method for that. And I don't estimate time for each task because it's very, very difficult. You sometimes you have model after 5 times, 5 tests, after 20 tests. It's difficult to say, but I know how many times we know and how many people we know we have to this task, and I know approximately how many times generally they need to prepare whole model or whole test, etc. So that's why I don't say, okay, for this model, I don't know, we need 2 weeks. For this model, we need 2 weeks, so 1 month. I know, okay, we need 1 month plus some buffer. Okay, maybe 6 weeks, 2 person, 3 person. Okay, this is our timeline, yeah, for example. But it's extremely hard and I don't do it. Say how many times every task needs.
Yeah. So basically your role also involves a bit of project management, right? So you need to structure project plan and then also monitor how the project develops, right? Are there any bottlenecks and how to resolve these bottlenecks?
Right? Yes, a little bit, yes. Of course, we work with our project managers. They learn how data science works because this is totally different, like the web development or other ITs areas. That's why I sometimes help them, and I also help them because all data science projects are my responsibilities. So and in the end, okay, when we have some problem, we need of course a project manager, but this is also my problem sometimes. So that's why I help them sometimes.
Yeah, so they sometimes can come to you and ask, hey, for this project, how much time do you think you need? Right? Yeah. And then you need to sit with them together to figure out how much time to allocate to this chunk, right?
Yeah, and how many people we
many
have.
people?
And of course, sometimes they ask me, okay, Basha, is it possible that this task could be prepared, I don't know, during 2 weeks or something like that? Yeah, because they don't know is enough, this is too long or maybe too short. And I could say, yeah, okay, with this guy or this guy, well, this is enough, or maybe it's too short, we need more time, we need some buffer or something like that.
Okay, so basically when a client comes to you and they have some sort of ML AI problem, so then you together with the project manager and perhaps the client, you try to plan this whole thing, right? So this
Exactly.
would be your responsibility as well to also
Yeah.
sit with the client with the project management manager to figure this out.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because of course, project managers are responsible for the project, but they need some knowledge from me, because they are not the specialists in data science. They don't know which exactly task will be needed in this particular solution.
And how do you make sure that your team is improving the revenue of the company?
Wow.
That's a tough one, right?
Could you one more time ask me?
Yeah. So the question is, how do you make sure that the team is improving the revenue of the company, meaning that the projects that you're making are actually impactful and help your company and perhaps the clients to, deliver value?
Okay. How I'm sure. I ask many people. I talk with people. Okay, of course we have some metrics, but this is math metrics, yeah, errors of model or something like that. But I talking with clients and I ask them. I ask also my project managers, because they have others perspective on the project. Yeah, they talk with clients, they talk with our sales department, and they are not such technical guys, and they see other things. So I also discuss with them. Yeah, I think in these two ways, I'm sure that this is a good direction. Yeah, I ask clients. It doesn't matter external or internal, because you prepare this solution for somebody. Yeah, and I ask them. Of course, we could prepare some dashboards. Yeah, I don't know if you prepare sales forecasting, you can monitor how it is good and the sales will better or not. But this is not easy in business, say black or white. Yeah, this is the model. This is the result of the model or result of other stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's actually only a part of the question that there is. So
Yeah.
there's more. So the comment is, it's more like a comment than a question, that most data science applications take time to provide value. So it takes time. So you launch a project, and
Yeah.
maybe it fails. Maybe you need more iterations before it actually starts showing the impact. And yeah, so and that's why they're costly. Like, and how do you make sure that the team is working on things that potentially maybe in half a year will be impactful, but right now maybe they're not so much?
Yeah, so that's why we need monitoring always. After in each data science project, we need monitoring. Need monitoring of models and of this business processes. For example, this sales forecasting. Yeah, the sales is better or not, but we should remember that not everything depends on the models. Yeah, so okay, different AI solutions could do something, but we have also many different processes, business processes, which have influenced this process. And we should analyze this very critical. Yeah, this is not that, our models works very well because sales is better. Yeah, maybe sales is better because now, not now, but maybe in December we have Christmas and we sell toys, for example. Yeah, but that's why it's very important to have a monitoring. Yeah, this process.
And also you need to have some sort of like you need to know that the improvement you see is because of the model, not because of I don't know, maybe your sales department just start working better, and it's not because of your model, but because of the sales department, right?
Exactly. That's why it's quite tricky to analyze results.
Mm-hmm. Another question, quite interesting. Do you have a standard set of common questions that your data scientists use to interview the clients?
But to the clients or to the job interview?
The clients. Yeah.
Yeah, I have some basic questions. Always, what kind of problem they have in the business? Because some clients came to me and say, "Oh, we need machine learning, or we need AI, because we heard that machine learning will some magic stuff." Yeah? And I always say, okay, but what kind of problem do you have? Yeah, because maybe you don't need machine learning. Maybe you need only moving average, or maybe you need some good dashboard. Yeah, this is the first question. Other question is always, do you have any solution for this problem right now? Because sometimes maybe now you have this size forecasting and you have this moving average. Very simple, okay. And I asked about this because I have to know they have some baseline or not. Yeah, this is second question. Other question is very technical question. In which technologies do you want the solution? What kind of data do you have? How much data do you have? And how do you work with this problem right now? Because maybe do you have some experts and they analyze everything in Excel, or maybe they have some expert knowledge, yeah, some wisdom or something like that. And this is not in data, this is not in Words, Excels, or in other systems, but it is only knowledge of these experts. So that's why I ask also about this. Yeah, I ask a lot about data and what they know about the influence of this process on the problem. Yeah, this sales forecasting, the best example. What do you know about your sales? How it works now? Yeah, you sell this every day, or I know every month. You have some peaks or not. Yeah, how it works generally, and yeah, this is quite long.
Like, do they have any KPIs already to see how well the process works?
Okay. Yeah, and sometimes ask, do you want or do you expect some KPI or metrics? Because sometimes they could say, okay, we need error accuracy or precision. Okay, I don't know, 70, 80%, because is the best solution for us. Yeah, or something like that. I ask a lot about data, how many they have, how it works, they are clean or not, what they know about their data. Yeah, I think this is the most important question for the beginning.
Yeah, and then the first question is what kind of problems they have. And you said maybe they don't even need machine learning. And how often does this happen that they actually don't need ML for that?
For me, it's not the usual situation, but some more problematic is that people don't have a good data or enough data. This is more problematic. Maybe my customers are quite aware and they know that they need machine learning for this, because right now they use something simple. Yeah, and it isn't happened so often, but it could be.
Yeah, thanks. And maybe this one is also a tough one. So why do you have any thoughts on why females are still a minority in data science teams?
Okay, so from a totally different part. Yeah, so yeah, no, for me it's important because I also help in one of the organization, Women in Machine
I
Learning
thought
and Data
that's why I
Science.
thought you like this question.
Yeah, I like I like, but it's maybe not so connected with manager and expert.
But
I
maybe it is actually connected to, a data science manager actually manages teams, and then how you as a manager can, do something about that.
It not depends exactly for me because I don't know, 2 weeks ago we had some discussion panel in Poland. Yeah, we organized this with our organization and with other companies, and we discussed this how looks like what looks like the data science world from the woman perspective. And the problem is that many women are scared about job interview, and that's why sometimes I don't have choice. But I think that more and more women want to be a data scientist and want to be data analyst. So generally work with data, and it's a good situation that I see that many girls and many women like work with computer, like work technical, and they have not such a big fear to do it. Yeah, and what we can do, we can talk, we can spread awareness that it's not so hard. Okay, this general is hard job, but that if you are a girl or if you are a man, this doesn't matter. It depends on your personality and your skills, and everybody has some advantages and disadvantages. It doesn't depend on the gender.
And yeah, you mentioned that women are scared of job interviews.
Yeah.
Maybe you as a manager can give them some advice, like how can they be less scary if it's possible?
How to be less scared? For me,
Scared, yes.
scared, yeah. For me, it was always very helpful that I talked with other people, with my friends or my family, and they encourage me and they say, okay, everything is good. Don't worry. This is not, I don't know, this is not the last chance or something like that. Don't be afraid. If not this job, the other one. And in this moment, the level of the stress is lower. The other thing is also that everybody, especially women, should be prepared for different questions and say that, okay, I can do it. I can do it, and maybe I'm not, I don't know all requirements, 100, but 80, 70 requirements are good enough. And because I see that men don't have problems with this, yeah, that they know only 70 requirements from the job offers. For women, is a problem, and I think this is the most important thing. Okay, maybe I'm don't suit for 100%, but I'm suit for 70. Okay, I could try. Maybe not this chance, maybe the other one. Yeah, and don't give up.
Yeah, thanks. How can people find you?
I think the best solution is LinkedIn. Barbara Sobkowiak. Yeah, I think this is the social media which I use the most.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I also what I usually ask even before, how can people find you? If you have any advice for anyone who is listening or watching this.
Any advice? Okay, so advice. okay, so if you are here and you are looking for in which direction you should go with your career, you should ask yourself what gives you the most satisfaction. And if you have problem with this, you should ask your friends or your colleagues, and you should find a mentor. I think it's easier if you find a mentor and you could talk with him or her and ask his or her about everything. And so talking with people and networking.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah, I hope many questions didn't take you off guards, but they were fun. I think you enjoyed them as well.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for sharing your experience. Thanks for telling sharing your stories with us. And thanks everyone for asking questions. We got quite a few questions. There are still 6 questions that we didn't cover. So apologies for that. Yeah, and I think that's it. We should be wrapping up. And thanks, Barbara. And
thank you. Thank you for invitation.
Yeah, and
very much.
Enjoy the rest of your day and have a great weekend.
You too.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.